faith for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, I conclude, today's message is unity. Unity for humanity. Unity for rule of law. Unity for sisterhood and brotherhood. I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you, members of the Diplomatic Corps, kind ladies and gentlemen of the press, members of the churches, and the kind people of Taipei who welcomed us. Please enjoy this event, and we look forward to beginning shortly. Thank you.
مفتوح حاولت قبل شوي هلا فيش امبارح
اهلا وسهلا بكم جميعا، اهلا وسهلا.
1 more minute for the photos, and then I'll have ask for the press to go back to their positions. 1 more minute.
حبيبي بقول لك سيد طيب اكسكيوز مي هاي شو هذا بيسوي بالوقت العام؟
Alright, so things are working out. The kind people from Diplomatic actually made it a little late, but here they are paying the respects to the patriarchs, and the patriarchs are offering condolences to them. So we're very grateful that this is taking place. We're happy that they made it. It seems such a small thing, right? 5-minute drive, but it isn't. It's quite a ways. We're going to begin our event now, so I'd like to ask each of you to please pay attention and let us begin.
Yes, thank you. Enough with the photos. Please, all the journalists and cameramen, please behind. I mean all. Thank you.
Good morning. Beatitudes and Excellencies, representatives of the diplomatic missions, journalists, honored guests, beloved brothers and sisters, and especially the people of Kfr Malik. Taibe, the town to which Jesus retreated in his final days, has become a place where safety is denied and sacred spaces are burned. Yet we declare, with unwavering faith, we remain. We continue to work for the common good. We respect the rule of law. We denounce the criminal trespassing and takeover of lands that settlers are doing in Taibe and Ramallah and over the east of Ramallah. We denounce the criminal intimidation tactics of the settlers groups are using. We request the help of the international community to encourage and verify that proper measures are taken to protect Taibe and the surrounding villages. We are not passers-by, nor migrants, nor strangers. We are not Remainants defending. We are through the memory of this land. We are not a shadow that passed and disappeared. We are the steadfast presence, the deep-rooted heritage in the soil of the history of faith, the planting of the Lord in his vineyard. He watered us with the water of baptism, and we grew here, and here we shall remain. This land is not merely a homeland, it's a calling, a mission, and a covenant to shall not be broken. I stand before you, not only as a priest, but as a witness to pain that repeats daily and to steadfastness that is renewed every morning in recent months. Taibe has witnessed a dangerous escalation of settler attacks on its land and holy places. Land cultivated with love are burned. Armed settlers trespass our land. We cannot access our own olive trees. Citizens are terrorized at night and besieged by day. We are surrounded by iron gates, choked by military checkpoints, as if we are strangers in our own land. Yet we are not strangers. We are the sons and daughters of this land. Our roots run deeper than walls and are stronger than the fences of occupation. Dear friends, what we are witnessing is not just a resentment. It's a systematic erosion of Christian presence in its cradle in Jesus' homeland. Taibe today is not an isolated case. It's a true mirror of what towns and villages across the West Bank endure. From sieges and closures to land confiscation and home demolition to intimidation, marginalization, and even death. And yet, despite its small size, Taibe embodies the story of an entire people, a people who resist through hope and believe that justice is not a distant dream, but a divine promise that must be fulfilled. Your beatitudes and excellencies, representatives and the diplomatic missions, from this place rooted in faith and generosity, what we ask is not a privilege, but commitment to truth and justice. An immediate halt to settler attack and legal accountability for the occupying authorities in accordance with the Geneva Convention. The dismantling of illegal settler outposts erected by Taibe's land, which pose a direct threat to the lives and identity of the local population. Ensuring access to our agricultural lands, particularly our groves, our olive groves, a symbol of peace and rootedness and protection for farmers during planting and harvest seasons. And we issue a special appeal to the protecting and the guaranteeing countries of the Holy Land to exercise real diplomatic pressure, not merely through statements, but through effective action at the United Nations and international legal forums, to include Taibe and international protection programs for religious and local heritage due to its unique historical and spiritual character, to provide direct and sustainable humanitarian and development support to the residents of Taibe, strengthen their resilience and preserving their dignity. Dear friends, we ask not for privilege, but for rights. We believe that the Christian presence here is not accidental. It's ancient and integral to the identity, history, and the future of this land. Taibe, the last fully Christian town in Palestine, has become the final line of defense for living Christian presence in the land of Jesus. This presence is now under threat, not only by direct persecution, but by a silent bleeding, unemployment, forced immigration, blocked horizons for the youth, and the erosion of hope for dignified life. If we do not act today, we may wake up tomorrow to find churches without believers, schools without students, and land without those who tell it and prey upon it. It left alone. Taibe may become a stone witness to a presence that once was not to a life that still is. Therefore, we appeal to you, churches, institutions, and protecting states, to direct your support in a direct and sustainable manner to ensure people in their land and meet their essential needs, especially the youth, so that they choose to remain here and become living witnesses to gospel in its homeland, rather than refugees in foreign lands. Dignity is not preserved by speeches alone, but by opportunities. Let us support the living stones, the people of this town. Do not be afraid, said Jesus to his disciples. We echo his words today. We are not afraid because we believe. We believe because we love. We love because we are children of this holy land, and we shall remain in it, no matter how long the night endures. Thank you for your presence, for your solidarity, and for choosing to see the truth with your own eyes, not from behind screens. May the Lord bless you all. Thank you.
Thanks again for your patience and your attention. I would like to ask His Beatitude, Theophilus Kyrios, Kyrios Theophilus III, to take his seat, and His Beatitude, Kyriotista Mitzavala, to take his seat. His Beatitude will now read a statement on behalf
Secretary of the Church Leaders and Heads of Churches. We, the Council Patriarchs and Heads of Churches in Jerusalem, are here today in Taiwan in solidarity with the local community following an intensifying trend of systemic and targeted attacks against them and their presence. We ask for the prayers, attention and action of the world, particularly that of Christians globally. On Monday, 7th of July 25, radical Israelis from nearby settlements intentionally set fire near the town cemetery and the church of St. George, which dates back to the 5th century. Taibe is the last remaining old Christian town in the West Bank. These actions are a direct and international threat to our local community first and foremost, but also to the historic and religious heritage of our ancestors and holy sites. In the face of such threats, the greatest act of bravery is to continue to call this your home. We stand with you, we support your resilience, and you have our prayers. We give thanks for the local residents and firefighters for extinguishing the fire before our holy sites were destroyed, but we join voices with the local priests, Greek Orthodox, Latin, and Greek Catholic, issuing a clear plea for support in the face of repeated systematic attacks from these radicals, which are only growing more frequent. In recent months, the radicals have led their cattle to graze on the farms of Christians on the east side of Taipei, as we saw right now. The agricultural area rendering them inaccessible at best, but at worst damaging the olive groves families depend on. Last month, several homes were attacked by these radicals, lighting fires and directing a billboard that said, translating to English, "There is no future for you here." The Church has had a faithful presence in this region for nearly 2,000 years. We firmly reject this message of exclusion and reaffirm our commitment to the Holy Land that is a mosaic of different faiths, living peacefully together in dignity and safety. The Council, the Patriarchs and the heads of the churches calls for these radicals to be held accountable by the Israeli authorities who actually facilitate and enable their presence around Taiwan. Even in times of war, holy sites must be protected. We call for an immediate and transparent investigation on why the Israeli police did not respond to emergency calls from the local community and why these abhorrent actions continue to go unpunished. The attacks by the hands of settlers against our community, who is living in peace, must stop, both here in Taipei and elsewhere throughout the West Bank. This is clearly part of the systematic attacks against Christians that we see unfolding throughout the region. Furthermore, we ask our dear friends, the diplomats, politicians, and church officials worldwide to provide a prayerful and outspoken voice for our ecumenical community in Taipei, that their presence may be secure and that they can live in peace, to worship freely, grow crops without danger, and live in a peace that seems to be in far too short of supply. We join our fellow clergy in Taipei in reiterating these of hope in the face of persistent threat. Truth and justice will ultimately prevail, And we recall the words of the prophet Amos, which becomes our prayer during this challenging time. Let justice roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. And now please, I have the honor and at the same time been commissioned by His Majesty King Abdallah to deliver his message. His Majesty's King Abdallah's statement during the solidarity visit of Jerusalem, patriarchs and heads of churches to the targeted city of Taipei in the West Bank. His Majesty King Abdallah II Ibn Hussein condemns the brutal attacks recently carried out by extremist settlers on the Church of St. George Al-Khder and the historic Christian cemetery in the town of Taipei, east of Ramallah. His Majesty denounces the settlers' act of setting fire to trees within the cemetery in a blatant violation of the sanctity of the dead, Christian holy sites, and Christian presence in the Holy Land. His Majesty affirms that the severity of the settlers' assaults, the daily terrorization of Palestinians, and their systematic aggression against dozens of villages, towns, and camps in the occupied Palestinian territories demand an immediate, firm international position to hold these attacks, especially the ongoing genocide of killing and starving children, women, and elderly and civilians in the Gaza Strip. His Majesty stresses the importance of protecting civilian Palestinians, safeguarding the holy sites, and upholding their right to live in freedom and dignity and to establish their independent state on their national soil with East Jerusalem as its capital. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. The press, one question each in English, no follow-up questions. And please present yourselves and
say something?
please.
I don't know. Patrick has already presented the position of all the churches. I want to thank all of the present here, the diplomatic and the churches, the representative, the journalists, and the people, of course, which is important, especially in this moment. Solidarity, empathy, closeness are important words, where everything is talking about division, separation, hatred. The solidarity, human solidarity first of all, then also diplomatic and religious solidarity is very important. I think it's very important to see all the head of churches present in this time in Jerusalem here, to show first of all our unity among us and our one voice in this situation. Situation is which is we Catholics are in the year so-called year of the hope, and it's very difficult to talk about hope now, and our hope is based on our faith, so we cannot be too much depressed. But the situation remains very, very concerning, especially, of course, Gaza, but also here in the West Bank, where it became every day more clearer that there is no law. The only law is the power, and we don't have an address. We don't have to whom to appeal in order to get the law implemented and applied. So I think here the role of the diplomatic community is very important, and also from the press, the media. We don't know if we can change, we have to work in order to change the situation, but it's very important to let the people in the world to know what the situation is here, about Gaza, of course, but also about what is going on here. Thank you.
We start with the local press from Taipei. Sanad, first question. Please present yourself and to who the question is addressed.
Sanad Sahri for WTN and Nabd al-Hayat platform radio for both you Senator. What practical and realistic steps you would like to see? What practical, realistic steps you would see happen for the village of Taipei after what's happened? For both of you, say.
So we brought to the Kogat, and we brought also to the ministry. So we were in contact with all the.
الصوت
Can we talk or not? So we sent an official letter to Kogat, an official letter to the authorities, Israeli authorities, in order to complain and to denounce what happened. I think it's important, the first thing we have to do. No reply yet, but we will keep insisting evangelically in all the opportunities, and also what is not opportune to do, we will do, relentless, in order to raise our voice and to be heard, and at least to find, to get an answer about this situation. This is all what we are doing, and of course we will be close to the village and to follow also to the media in order to keep the attention very high.
CMC. Go ahead.
NBC. Hi, folks. My name is Matt Bradley from NBC News. I was wondering, I understand that the U.S. Embassy withdrew from this event at the last minute. Have you received any acknowledgement of what's going on here from the American government?
You know that we are in a difficult situation after the recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel by the State Department. We don't have contacts that we used to have with the former USA consulate in Jerusalem. We are trying our best to raise our voice because we hear that the State Department is concerned about Christian presence. But this is just, in words, it's just empty statements, right? In practice, we have not seen anything, but however, we're trying our best to contact certain people in order to complain and raise awareness.
They have been informed, and know the details. I think they are planning also their own visit in order to have a direct contact with the village, but this is still in program. I'm not diplomatic, so I forgot to say.
My name is Mohammed Al-Qasim with TRT World. We know that the U.S. is missing in action here, but what's your message to the diplomats who are already here? What is it exactly that you need from them? Normally when something like this happens, we see this push from diplomats. They come, they get their photo up, and then they leave. What exactly is your message for them? What do you want from them? Thank you.
Well, we've been working together with the diplomatic corps of Jerusalem, right? It's not the first time that we are meeting here. Throughout the year, we have all sorts of contacts together with the church leaders, and we also in private making dinner, right? Just to discuss all those issues that are of common concern. The thing is this, that it's not only here that we have problems with settlers. We have all sorts of problems in Jerusalem, also the churches. I think everybody is aware of what is going on, but we never stop. And the fact is that we've been going around the world raising awareness by meeting presidents, bishops, etc., important influential people. This is what we're doing. We're not going to stop.
Diplomats usually they have to talk, to discuss, to dialogue. Their role is to keep, and also to write, to try to find solutions. But in order to find solutions, you have to raise, first of all, the problem. So it's very important to talk about the problem in all the international context to talk about. That's important, because if you don't talk about the problem, you also will not try to solve it.
Andrea Copeland, Catholic News Agency. Andrea Krogman, Catholic News Agency. You mentioned the systematic attack on the Christians in the region. My question would be, do you see a difference in the attacks on the Christian population in comparison to the other population, which is also under a lot of attacks with a lot of killing going on in the area?
All of us, we face the same problems, no matter what is the religious affiliation or cultural identity. All of us have the same problem. We are together today, and when we are meeting with our friends and people, we discuss issues that are of common concern.
Sari Salafta from Reuters. Microphone. Sorry.
This is Ari Salafta from Reuters. Are you concerned such these attacks, like it's not just in Taibi, also in places like near Bethlehem, are to force the people to leave the area? I mean the Christian, exactly. And if you can give us the number of the percentage of the Christian these days from the population in Palestine. Thanks.
The Christians in Palestine are about, I try to be, we don't have exact figures and numbers, but about 50,000, if I'm correct. And the last 2 years, I know better the numbers in the Bethlehem area. Bethlehem means Bethlehem, Bejala, Betzahu. Almost 100 families already left, unfortunately. The temptation to emigrate is there because of the situation, and so it's not the first time we have a conflict. We had Intifada, the first, the second, and so on. The problem is that this time it's very difficult to see how and when this will finish, and especially for the youth, to talk about hope, trust for the future, to build their family here is something that everyone would like to do. It's not that simple even to think how it's possible. So the temptation is there, but it's not just for the Christians, it's for all.
Hi, Your Gratitude, thank you. I'm from Mandavais and I'm a resident of Taiba. This is not the first time or the beginning of the settler attacks on Taiba. Actually, in October, on October 12, 40 families from the Bedouin community of Wadi Sik were all expelled and all ended up in the streets of Taiba and neighboring villages. And since October, Taiba lost almost a quarter of its farming land. So this is not the beginning of this attack. And as you know, it's part of the annexation of the entire Jordan Valley. So what do you have to say about that? And secondly, you acknowledge in your statement that these radicals, as you call them, are enabled by the Israeli government. They're actually a tool of the state policy of Israel. What do you have to say about that? If these are the radicals, who are the supposed moderates who are supposed to investigate, as you are calling for? Thank you.
I think the answer, this is a political answer, right? We are not politicians. We are not politicians, and so you should address the politicians to give you answer about it.
Jeremy Sherrill from the Times of Israel. Do you think that there is enough, how do you see the role of Israeli society in addressing the problems which Taibe and other communities around here have faced in recent months and the last 2 years?
You have to work with all parts of the society, Palestinian society, Israeli society, all the good part, all the healthy part of the societies, in order to create a network. It's very important to create a network everywhere, international and local, with all the people in order to make pressure, to raise the awareness about the problems, and to talk also about all the implications, moral implications, not legal implications only, there are the moral implications, the many, the economic and so on. So I think it's very important. These things, especially when as we are seeing, there is no law, there is no address, it's very important to create, a context, social context, that can be a kind of antibody, I don't know how to say, in order to live, to react to this situation in the peaceful, but also clear and strong way.
This question is for both of you, Sayyidina. My name is David Corey Daoud Khouri, and I was the mayor of Taiba for 8 years. And I want to know, what can you do to protect Christians in the Holy Land and keep them steadfast on their land? What is the steps that we can do together? Thank you.
Well, we are the Council of Churches have joined our forces, right? And we're trying our best to support our communities throughout the West Bank, not only the West Bank, but also in the Palestinian territories, but also within our spiritual jurisdiction, which means within the Green Line, in Jordan, etc. And in this respect, we work together, we run the schools, we provide scholarship, we support people with paying their tuition fees, etc. They support them medically speaking. We do all sorts of things in order to encourage them to stay here. And we've been working and we're trying appealing to the international community about the importance of Christian presence here. And I think to a certain extent we have succeeded.
I fully agree what he said. If I may observe what you said, I dream a day where we don't need protection, but we live according to the rights and guarantees.
Protection, I meant from departing this land.
I understood what you mean, but I mean, now we are talking about protection, means there is something wrong in the system, so we have to work in order to avoid the need to use this word.
I hope you can give that support.
Thank you very much. We'll continue our program now. Thank you.
قبل ما نطلع بس باسم البطاركة ورؤساء الكنائس في القدس وجميع الكنائس والحاضرين، بنقدم العزاء لإخوتنا وأهلنا في كفر مالك والمزرعة الشرقية باسم البطاركة ورؤساء الكنائس في القدس. مش في البرنامج.
للمقال السيد إبراهيم عازم من الكنيسة الوزارية Canais. We, yes, I am Bishop Ibrahim Hazar from the Lutheran Church. We as head of church in Jerusalem, we are here today not only to see but also to live with our people in Taibe. And Taibe is a symbol for our Christian presence. And when we feel that they are suffering, all Christians in the Holy Land are suffering. And I am very thankful for you patriarchs, Theophilos and patriarchs Isabella. It is not only to be with us today,